All right. Namaste, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. So we are going to have a little bit of mindfulness and Goranga breath meditation together now. So please sit in a very comfy position for me. Very relaxed. Shoulders back, heads upright. And gently close your eyes, please. As my friend Rupa mentioned, we actually tend to close our eyes to remove visual distractions. We've got 5 senses, and each and every sense could be a source of distraction. Our tongue, making us hungry, feeling hungry, for example. Or eyes, wanting to look everywhere to see what's happening and stuff. The mindfulness practice we are going to do now is called silent witness meditation, which is actually a visualization practice. Let's visualize sitting in a bank of a never-flowing stream. That could be a stream you've seen in the past, or even an imaginary stream. The stream represents your mind and your mind stuff. And you are the silent witness sitting in the bank of the stream, observing its content. Thoughts appear on the surface of the stream like bubbles. You will realize that unless you want to latch on specific thought or you want to judge it, the thought appears and disappears very quickly. If you find that your mind wanders during this practice, just become aware that your mind has wandered and consciously bring it back to the practice. The mind is a sitting place for millions of thoughts, desires, emotions, needs, feelings, and so on. If we identify with the mind, we are like a person who is helplessly swept down the stream with the strong currents of the swiftly flowing stream. It is, however, extremely liberating to realize that we are not the mind and that we are not the thoughts either. We are the silent witness sitting in the bank of the stream of mind, observing its content. Mind is detached from us. We should learn not to go with the flow of the mind. In fact, an untamed mind tends to avoid the present moment. You are sitting here right now meditating, and you may find out that your mind's going to the past or future or a place other than here. But really, we want our mind to be present in the place our body is, and right now, attending the present moment. Mind tends to take us to future, making us worried about things that can possibly go wrong. You're meditating Sunday afternoon and your mind takes you to Monday, first day of the week. What if? Lots of what ifs. What if this meeting you fail to present what you want to present in that meeting? What if you fail the interview tomorrow? Or if you are a student, what if you fail the exam? You have a baby and your baby is sick. What if he doesn't get better tomorrow? Lots of what ifs. So we should learn to tame the mind. Okay, that's good. How can I do it? I really would like to tame my mind. My mind is giving me suffering. How can I tame it? Well, the answer is these wonderful mantras we are chanting tonight, like Gopala, Gauranga, Haribol, Krishna. These sound vibrations are highly potent because they are not of this world. They are not material sounds. These are spiritual sound vibrations having the purifying effects on our mind and heart. So without further ado, we are going to do a breath meditation and say the wonderful mantra Gauranga on the exhale. Gauranga mantra has 4 syllables. Go, Ra, An, Ga. So we are going to join the guys in the background, taking deep breath in and saying the mantra Gauranga on the exhale. Let's listen to this one coming, and then from the second we are going to join the guys. Let's join. Take a deep breath in. Let's do 2 more. Let the mantra resonate in your mind, washing away all the worries and anxieties you might be holding. Alright guys, you can bring your focus back to the room and people around you. And if you like, you can gently open your eyes and probably putting your palm together, creating some nice warmth, and massage your face. All right, I would like to invite my dear friend Jiva Krishnadas to come and give us a talk on spirituality. Haribol, Namaste.
Hey everybody, namaste. So just before we try and speak a little bit, just want to offer respects to my teacher, Siddha Swarupananda. Okay, I think this is drooping. So, my friend Taratmanadas was due to speak today about reincarnation explained. You know, we've got topics, different topics we're speaking about each week in connection with our chanting and yoga practice. So I'm just filling in for him. And so it's reincarnation, huge subject. I've got 20 minutes, not nearly enough time to talk about it properly, but we'll try and get across some basic ideas, and that's okay. And you know, so we'll start with something that you know, I'm kind of going to presume that everybody's interested in this subject to some extent. Reincarnation. It's anybody who understands the distinction between themselves and the body, which is, you know, the basic yoga teaching. There's a difference between you and your body. You know, the questions immediately come up, you know, that if I'm distinct from my body, then what happens when the body inevitably fades away? And so this is, it comes up a lot in, you know, there's been, I don't know if you're aware of it, you know, there's a lot of research into out-of-body experiences with different people, and it's pretty big subject. Before it was kind of like a fringe area of research, but now it's pretty much mainstream. There's, you know, some of the big universities in the United States, their psychiatric departments are putting a lot of effort into this kind of research. And it's all very well documented. I won't get into the details, but basically they've proved by different, you know, kinds of analysis that people definitely exist after their body dies. They've got, and not just exist, their consciousness is very sharp and their mind's very, very sharp, not sluggish at all in these beyond the body experiences, sort of thing. So this is not it's not really an area of controversy anymore. One of the psychiatrists was saying, in mainstream science, they are still a little bit reluctant to, many of them, many scientists, I mean, we'd say scientists, that covers a lot of different people, but the majority, while they're a little bit reluctant to, embrace this research, they're gradually being forced to because of these very highly reputable studies. So and the doctor who was, one of the doctors who's leading the field, one of the people in this field, he's saying that this research has been sort of hidden away like the embarrassing uncle kind of thing of science, but gradually it's becoming more and more, it's going to come to the fore, and people are going to have to, basically accept it. There is a difference between you and your body, and you will exist after your body. So for people who are following yoga, this is nothing new. This has been taught in yoga history for a long, long, long time. And I'll just read a couple of quotes from one of the yoga texts, the Bhagavad Gita, just explaining this. As we always mention, we when we speak here about spiritual knowledge and so on in our programs here, we're not upstarts who are just making stuff up according to our whims and, I think it might be like this, and, we're very charismatic and we can present all these different ideas. I'm not charismatic at all, but but I've got this. This is solid. This is the Bhagavad Gita, which is accepted by, every genuine yoga aspirant and teacher. So I'll just read a couple of these quotes there. I mean, try and follow it as we go. They're really quite amazing. This has been now. This is being verified by science, by research, by current research. So this is text 20 from the second chapter. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. The soul is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying and primeval. The soul is not slain when the body is slain. It's another one. This next one deals directly with reincarnation, so I'll just hold off on that for a moment. So again, I'll just mention quickly, this research I was talking about, they're very, they're not coming out with statements like this. It's not like they're saying, oh yes, the Bhagavad Gita is true. No, they're looking at it very objectively. They've got this, all they're saying is consciousness and mental function, very sharp mental function exists and is a verified fact after the death of the body, when the body is still died. So that's as far as they're going. They're not jumping to any further conclusions. They're not reading quotes like this and talking about the eternal soul or anything like that. That's what we do. So it's pretty amazing in a sense that they're not doing that. It just shows that they're not. They're just following their nose in a very scientific manner and leaving it at that. But we're going a little bit further than that because we're following the yoga tradition. So the body, the soul exists after the death of the body. And then the question comes, this in itself is a life-changing event for many people. It's as part of the research. They've interviewed people who have had these experiences of being out of their body, and they're all, just basically saying the whole outlook has changed. And of course it would, wouldn't it? If you've been travelling along thinking, oh yeah, I'm my body and, that's it. And all of a sudden you come experience, actually experience that you're going to exist after the death of your body, then, you know, you're going to, your outlook's going to change completely. You're not going to be, and a lot of these people said, although they've still got their lives, their material lives and so on, this and that, they've got families and so on, they see it all a little bit differently. They understand that it's transitory, and so they're not freaked out, or they're not so, upset by the passing of one person or another, either themselves or others. I don't know if you've ever, most of us have been to funerals, yeah, or we've known people who leave their bodies. Died. People die, and people get very traumatised and upset by it all. So just one, obvious feature of this knowledge, or one consequence of this knowledge, is that people, you're not so upset about stuff. You know your person or your friend or your family, they haven't really died at all. They've gone on. So where have they gone? This is the question. So what's reincarnation? Reincarnation means there's two general destinations that can be attained after our body finishes. One, and this is what the goal of yoga describes, that our spiritual soul goes back to the spiritual dimension from which we've come, the spiritual world, or different people say it in different ways, but there's a spiritual dimension, and we're all naturally, being eternal spiritual souls, as the Bhagavad Gita is describing, that's where we naturally are. What's very unnatural is for the eternal spiritual soul to be in a temporary body. You think? Isn't that unnatural? It's super unnatural. You're eternal, and yet you're stuck in a body which is, it's just we all know our bodies. It's very fragile in a lot of ways. It's going to break down, get old, and so on. So this is considered to be a very unnatural situation, and which people struggle with. I'll get this quote here. There's a nice quote describing this struggle. Let me see if I can find it. Let me first read this one, and then we'll come to the one I was talking about. This is just describing the reincarnation itself, what happens when we leave the body. I can't find that other quote. Let me see. It's probably... Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll read this one. This is describing this condition of struggle. So in the Bhagavad Gita, the point is made that about the spiritual souls being the eternal parts, or the eternal parts of the Supreme Soul. In other words, we naturally belong in the spiritual world. So the living entities in this conditioned world, in the material world, are my eternal fragmental parts. In other words, we're all part of God. We're all part of the Supreme. We're all children of the Supreme. But due to conditioned life, we are struggling very hard with the 6 senses, which include the mind. So there's a struggle going on. This is something we can experience. We don't need to, again, a lot of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and so on, they seem to be very, theoretical and so on, but it's actually very practical. We're struggling with the senses. People are struggling, especially later in life. People, are always off to the struggling to stay alive, to stay young. what's yoga asana classes all about? To a large extent, trying to stay young and healthy and so on, right? So people, or what are people jogging for, or what are people lifting? So there's a huge industry, a type of a health industry that's, or should we put it, the longevity industry. People are struggling to maintain their body as best as they can. Is that right? And it is a struggle. Because the older you get, the harder it gets. I meet them every day at the pool where I go. I'm trying to stay fit too. I'm one of them. I can tell you it's a struggle, but I do it because I've got to be a little bit, trying to maintain the body for a little while. So, let me find my glasses. So this is described as a struggle. So we can try to, that's why in yoga teaching we're advised the whole yoga process is about trying to develop our consciousness in such a way that when this body finishes, and even when, so we can experience, even in this present situation, we can experience more and more our spiritual nature and our natural connection with the divine. So, so what's reincarnation? Reincarnation happens when we don't achieve any of that. When a person, for one reason or another, rejects the whole idea of spiritual development, no, I'm not interested, then you may reject the idea, but you cannot reject your own eternal spiritual nature. That's done deal. It's not like, I don't believe in that, it's not real. It's real for everybody, whether we believe it or not. So what happens to the person who's not interested in spiritual development? They're not, I don't want to know about it. Here it's described. As a person puts on new garments, giving up old ones, similarly, the soul accepts new material bodies, giving up old and useless ones. So that's reincarnation right there, explained in a nutshell. Just like we go and change our clothes, take our clothes, go take a shower, take your clothes off, chuck it away because they're all dirty, and then you put on your new clothes. Similarly, when this body finishes, when the body dies, it's like old clothes that are no longer usable. The body's no longer usable. It's gone, it's finished. It goes, the body goes, but you stay the same. What happens? You get a new set of clothes. You get a new body. So, like I said earlier, this is a huge subject. We can't, get right into it. We're going to continue it next week with part 2. We'll talk more in depth about it. But just to give you, just to try and finish it off tonight a little bit, the big question is, of course, what kind of body will I get in the next body? What's my next body going to be? And it's, people sometimes think, you can get whatever kind of body you want. No, not necessarily. Yes and no. We get what we want according to, but there's a thing, the underlying, put it this way, there's the underlying mechanism of reincarnation is simply cause and effect. It's not like, in other words, what we do now determines what kind of body we'll get, if that makes sense. Just like what you do now in your life will determine your future to some extent, anyway. Is that right? You've got people who are very conscientious about saving money and so on, or, looking after their careers and so on, trying to have a secure future. And so they're determining their future to a certain extent, whereas someone else who goes, oh, no, I don't care about any of that, they're determining their future too. They're determining a different kind of future. So we all, by our actions, we determine our future. It's the same with our next body. What you do now will determine it to some extent. So there's a it's very much cause and effect. Some people talk about destiny. Is there such a thing as destiny? I'm destined for some particular thing. Yes, there is such a thing as destiny, but again, that's dependent on cause and effect as well. In other words, right now, we're sitting here at this point in time, but we're sitting here at this point in time because of actions done in the past, because of different things that have been going on has brought us to this point here. So yeah, you can say, so destiny is very real, but it's a work in progress, so to speak. It can change. It can change from moment to moment. So it's a little bit tricky to understand, maybe not too tricky. Can everybody get that? So things are sort of set. We're on a sort of certain path, each one of us. And if we keep going on that path, yeah, it's going to work out a certain way. So that's real. But it's also real that we can change just like that. I'm on a certain trajectory in my life. I'm kind of, I'm interested in yoga. I'm interested in meditation and so on. But I could, so my destiny is kind of going that way. But I've also got this thing called free will. I could turn around and, just to give a rather dramatic example, if I went and murdered somebody right now, my trajectory would change. My destiny would change. I'd be going, okay, I'm sort of heading this way, but I do an action here and I'll change my destiny. So that's what I mean. It's a constantly changing process. So destiny is real, but it can change. So again, there's a nice. So why are we talking about reincarnation? Some people think of it. We're trying to get across the teaching of yoga that this is not a good thing. People think, oh, reincarnation is great. You live forever. You go through one body, you get another one. After all, isn't that what a lot of people are doing? Trying to stay young and pretty for as long as they can. It's one of the main goals of a lot of people. Just try and stay young, try and stay alive as long as possible. If you get to 90 or something, people, wow. If you get to 100, it's like you become they put you on television and everything. Wow. So, but from the yoga point of view, it's, this is, it doesn't matter how long you it's not that big a deal. This guy made it to 70, this guy made it to 90. Unless, you've got some specific things that, you wanted to do in life. But generally, there's a text which are in the Bhagavad Gita again. It goes like this: from the highest places in the material world to the lowest, they're all places of misery where repeated birth and death take place. So that's why it's said. Now, you might think, oh, places of misery. No, there's a lot of places that aren't full of misery. Yeah, that's true. But the misery is knowing that it's all going to end, knowing that it's going to fizzle out. And, this is why everybody's freaking out at funerals and so on. Or if somebody dies, it's considered to be a great tragedy. Whereas from the yoga point of view, from the point of yoga wisdom, it's not a tragedy at all. This person it's their time. They had to move on. They've gone to a new life somewhere else. And especially if they've gone on to the spiritual dimension, it's a cause of celebration. It's like they're out. They've transcended the wheel of birth and death. That's how reincarnation is sometimes described, the wheel of birth and death. Try and imagine. You think it's a good thing, but the real bummer is, you don't know where you're going to go. You know, you might believe in reincarnation, but you don't know where you're going to go. And look around the world and see, this is the freaky part of reincarnation. Look around the world and see all the different kinds of bodies and people in situations and people born into crappy situations. They're just like us. They're spiritual entities just like us. They're all children of God. You think they chose to be in that particular situation? You think a person chose to be born in the gutter somewhere? They didn't choose that. Who would choose that? So why are they there? Because of this cause and effect, because of actions they've done, which created that situation where that is how they had to take birth. Just like me, if I suddenly, my trajectory may be good, but if I suddenly murder somebody, my good trajectory is not going to be so good anymore. I'm going to end up in some unfavourable situation, aren't I? I'm going to suffer. Going to suffer. Because why? Because I've made someone else suffer. So these are just, I'm just touching on a few of the reasons why, people have a very romantic view of reincarnation sometimes. Think, oh, it's great, yeah, maybe, depending on where you've done, especially if you've racked up if you've done a lot of bad in this life, then you're going to get bad. So this ties into the understanding of karma, the law of karma. If you do good, you'll get good. So this is, where am I going to go in my next life? Basically, it's to do with karma. If you've done good, you'll probably get a good situation. If you've lived a good life, you've been kind and so on, especially if you've helped others, you engage in welfare work or something, you've got a good future. It's going to be good for you. If you've been a terrible person, you've created suffering, then, your future's not going to be so good. So do you think it's important to have an understanding of this? This is really important to understand the mechanics of how reincarnation works. Just like in our society, we learn a little bit about the law. We teach our kids, don't do that, because if you do that, if you whack that little old lady over the head and steal a handbag, the police are going to come and get you and put you in. So similarly, we learn about cause and effect. So this is why, you have these very broad teachings, like, a very famous one is, which can be very helpful. It's a very simple teaching. Have you ever heard that idea that don't do to others what you wouldn't want done to yourself? There's a good start. How can we make it so that, we have a good future? Just follow that one thing for a start. There's a good starting point. Everybody's heard of that, yeah? Don't do to others something that you wouldn't want done to yourself. Very, very simple, very easy to understand. So, how are we going? We're out of time. I'm sorry. Like I said, it's a big subject. We'll pick it up next week, either myself or my friend Tad, and maybe, if any of you back here again got any questions about this, we'll be able to take some questions. So I'll have to leave it at that. So we're running out of time. So we're just going to chant for a few minutes, and then we're going to do our dinner break. So namaste, everybody. Thank you. I hope that was helpful. And so... So we're just going to chant for a few minutes. Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, 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 Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, 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 Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Gopala, Govinda, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Gopala, Govinda, Rama, Madana Mohana, Om Hari Just going to have our dinner break. Please enjoy the meal, and we'll be back soon with some more chanting. Thank you.
Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Om Hari Om. Hari Om. Om Hari Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol. Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol. Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol. Why don't you clap? Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol. Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol 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 sing along Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda two more Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol 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 Chaitanya Last one Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Chaitanya Nityananda Hari Bol Hari Om Om Hari Om. Guys, shall we do a very quick one? So we just do a short mellow one, 5 minutes or something to finish up, and then we invite our dear friend Jiva Krishna to come and chant for us. So, C, G, A minor, F, Cape 1, 3. It's 2 times actually. Hari Bol, Nitai Gor, Nitai Gor, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Response time. Keep going. F at the end. Hari Bol, Nitai Gor, Nitai Gor, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gor, Nitai Gor, Hari Bol. Your time. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Let's do two more together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Last one. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribol. Thank you so much, everyone. Namaste. All right, I would like to invite our dear friend Jiva Krishnas to come and chant for us. Haribol. We've figured out how to continually get trapped up in our wires and stuff. So we're going to continue with a bit of Hare Krishna mantra. When I was with my teacher, I haven't been with him that much in my life, but one of the things he told me was no matter what happens, always chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So that's why if you hear us singing Hare Krishna mantra quite a bit around here, that's part of the reason. There's many different names of the Supreme, but this one I'm especially attached to. So
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're gonna do a chant. This one's Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala. And for anybody who's not familiar with this little mantra, Radha, everybody knows Govinda, Krishna, Gopala. These are all names of the Supreme. Radha is another way of saying Radharani, and Radharani is the divine feminine energy. She's the feminine aspect of Krishna. So we're going to do Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha 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 Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha Gopala, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha 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 Govinda, Radha Gopala. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Radha Govinda, Radha Gopala, Govinda, Radha Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Let's all sing this together. We're a bit soft. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Okay, so we're just going to have another short one to finish up. Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare Hare. One more, we'll all go together. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hey, gee, hurry ball, everybody. So I think that's it for tonight. Unless we've got some tea and some other goodies, I think. If anybody wants to stay and, hang out for a little bit, you're welcome. So I don't think we've got any special announcements. We're just here during the week for yoga, for anybody likes to do their asana practice. And also we'll be back next Sunday, hopefully. And so namaste, everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you.